I understand, Catherine, you were at the demo yesterday. Good morning.
Good morning. I was indeed.
How did you hear about it?
Beg your pardon?
How did you hear that there was going to be a demo?
Oh, we heard on Friday that Boris Johnson was coming to Luxembourg, so we decided that we would go and welcome him. And you can see that it hasn't been taken very kindly by people who are in favour of Brexit and by the right-wing press in the UK. I rang up in order to set the record straight. There was no ambush. We went down. A lot of us were sort of like 40s, 50s. There were some youngsters, but most people were working or at school, so they couldn't attend the demonstration. So I've heard one figure of 50 and one of 75.
Yeah.
Either way, yes, we were noisy. We were booing when he arrived and calling him a liar, which we can actually back up on the basis of his record. And we were going to boo him on the way out. We were asked by the press while Mr. Johnson was meeting with our Prime Minister, Xavier Bettel, to not make a noise when Mr. Johnson spoke because the press wanted to hear what he had to say. Now, we being reasonable people who can be reasoned with, we agreed that that was perfectly acceptable. Unfortunately, when he came out, we did boo him. As soon as he'd taken the lectern, if he'd bothered to, we would have piped down.
Bit of a gamble, Catherine.
Beg your pardon?
I'd say that's a bit of a gamble. You can't speak for all 50 or 75 of you.
Well, I know a lot of those people, and believe me, we're not hoodlums causing violence.
Not saying you are,
street.
but there's a pretty ugly look if the British Prime Minister's trying to talk and he can't be heard.
Surely he didn't even attempt to speak, Mr. Ferrari. And I can tell you something else. We had been asked to keep it down, and if our Prime Minister over here had asked us to pipe down in order to listen to the UK PM, we would have done so. But I don't honestly believe that would have been necessary. However, we will never know because he never took the stand in the first place, which I consider to be an act of cowardice.
Lastly, what did you and your colleagues achieve yesterday?
We wanted to make it quite plain to him that we don't accept the fact that he has lied to the British people about the European Union for all these years, and we wanted to make it known that he's not pulling the wool over our eyes. We know what he is, we know what he represents, we know what's going on, and he is a Euromyth creator, is somebody that we cannot accept standing up and carrying on with his delusions.
Lastly, Catherine, you don't think this was rudeness on an extraordinary level towards a visiting
as far as the Luxembourgers are concerned, he was treated with the utmost respect. He was wined and dined by the commissioner of the European, by the head of the European Commission, and he was hosted by Xavier Bettel. Yes, you could say that maybe. Well, I don't see why we can't stand outside the Council of State while they're having a meeting inside and protest.